Good evening, guys. Welcome to the program. Today we will continue with our review of various job posting. This is to assist the candidates who are in the job market. You can understand what kind of job employers are offering and what kind of skill they are expecting from the candidate. In fact, I am trying to locate the posting which is from multinational company. Maybe they will offer a better package, so the expectation are more from the employees. Today I have used a keyword SNOP. Maybe many of you are aware SNOP is sales and operation planning. Either it can be independent position or it can be attached to any of the current function. It may also depend upon the size of the organization, complexity of organization. But nowadays I am seeing more and more organization, they have a full-time position on SNOP. That is the reason why I wanted to create awareness about this special function. Okay. Especially if you will see in the e-commerce market, they specifically look for senior level SNOP coordinator, but it could be mid or junior level in other organization. So let me share the screen today. Allow me a few seconds so that screen comes to the display. Hope you are able to hear me and see the screen. You can type in the LinkedIn comments. If you need any doubts or clarification, I am able to watch the LinkedIn comments. This live stream is available apart from LinkedIn and other social media like Twitter and Facebook, YouTube. All these channels are available. Though if you are not watching live, you are always welcome to watch this video offline and comment so that we can reach you back. Today I am going to take up a position on SNOP. As I told before I start the program, let me briefly introduce myself. This is my LinkedIn, Udemy profile. I have more than 1,000 enrolled candidates, and also a LinkedIn profile. I am searchable by Supply Chain Master. Coming to my profile, the educational background, I am an engineer with PG degree in management and data science. I have worked nearly 2.5 decades in this global organization. I have mainly worked in supply chain and allied domains at various level. In the last 10 years in this organization, I was heading the supply chain. Last 4 years, I have been CEO of the current organization known as Thoughtware Training Private Limited. As far as my certification is concerned, possibly if you are a supply chain executive, you should be already aware about ASCM and APIX. They provide globally recognized certification in supply chain. If you are in the job market, these are very essential nowadays. Second one is similar to APIX, organization called DDI. They offer a similar certification. DDPP means Demand Driven Planner Professional. I am also a certified purchasing manager and project management professional, apart from qualified in analytics. Coming to our organization, we are based in Bangalore, 5-year-old organization. We provide both training and consulting in the field of supply chain, logistic, and analytics related field. We are operating under a trade name Expert SEM. Coming to the job position, today I use the keyword SNOP because that's a growing demand for people working in mainly on multinational organization. SNOP is one important function. Today, the position is for Micron Technology. It's a multinational company. They are dealing manufacturing with microchips and other related product. They have a division in Hyderabad. I assume this position is for Hyderabad, Telangana. So the position title is SNOP Supply and Demand Analyst. Possibly SNOP is different. I am not sure why they are trying to combine with supply and demand analyst. Possibly this could be a part-time position. That's where it can be combined, because depending upon the size of the organization, either it could be a full-time job or a part-time job. So you can see that they are trying to combine with supply and demand along with the SNOP. We are going to go through each one of the requirement in the coming slides. Meanwhile, for your information, I have picked this posting today, and it was posted 5 days earlier. Still, this position is live. If any one of you feel you are the fit this role, you are always welcome to apply for it. In any case, I don't have any connection with the program, what I do, and the companies who are there available. Okay. Before we jump into it, let us also see what is the position level when you call analyst. Possibly, I assume this position is at a junior level, possibly below 5 years, but they have not specifically told how many years of experience is required. As far as location, we have seen it's Hyderabad, Telangana is the location. Qualification, they have told MBA is preferred apart from basic technical qualification. Salary is not clear. But coming to SNOP, I will give a basic background. This is one of the planning process higher in the hierarchy. Here, this is a process. Okay, SNOP is a process which is used to balance supply and demand. You know, many organizations there is an imbalance between supply and demand, and if it is not organized, then this balance will never be tied up, and that results in a lot of misfocus and infighting within the organization. So if the company wants to have all the cross-functional team working together and have one single figure for the entire organization, then SNOP is the solution. Many multinational organizations they use this process to fix the figures, to fix the production figures for maybe next 6 months, and also have a visibility up to 1.5 years. You can have a visibility, but this is not a business plan. This is one level lower, so we are not using it for 4 years, 5 years plan. No, it is should for intermediate. It is used for tactical planning. I can say next month to 6 months, you should have some type of a confirmed figure behind which you can have some idea, visibility, what is going to happen towards the end of the year or next year. And this is a monthly process, and the SNOP coordinator is a very important role in discussing and aligning with both supply and demand. And finally, it has to go up to the top executive level, and he should be part of this process. Okay, he or she is should be the part of the process, and the figures have to be finalized by the conclusion of this monthly SNOP meeting. That's the gist of the process. In fact, we have many programs on SNOP. Either it can be 1 day or 2 day program, but I am trying to give some overview through this job posting. Now you can see SNOP is also one more thing. Don't think it's a sales job. It is one of the core supply chain position job. Okay, here we are trying to balance between supply and demand, or capacity versus priority. Okay, it's one of the core supply chain knowledge area. You should not think it is not in your domain. Okay, so here the responsibility wise, they say monthly SNOP demand plan in accordance with corporate strategies and priorities. The plan must be optimized across various constraints and priority of global operation, business units, and corporate strategy and finance. Like we were seeing in many job posting, sometimes expectation will be more than what position they are looking for. For example, here it is an analyst position, seems to be much junior position, but the title says you should be the leader of this organization, and coordinating, developing plan, fixing everything is something more than what this position is expected to do. but you cannot avoid. If you are want a job in such companies, you need to have some plan. Okay, here in SNOP, normally we are not creating any forecast or demand plan. There is a misunderstanding in this organization. SNOP is for aligning the demand and the supply. There is always a gap. So how we are going to bridge this gap? That is what the main function of SNOP. It's not exactly creation of a demand plan. This is a role of a demand planner or demand analyst. This is where I think they are trying to combine both the demand analyst role as well as SNMP role, because SNMP role is something totally different, optimized for constraints and priorities. So you should know the capacity management or supply management, even if you are on the demand side. Finally, what we are trying to manage is the supply and demand should balance. That is the core objective of this position. Second statement is you will be the primary interface between demand management, business operations, sales and operation planning organization throughout the SNOP circle. There is nothing wrong in saying that you will be responsible for working with all business unit stakeholders and demand planners to summarize, communicate the changes in the unconstrained consensus input. So possibly there are also other demand planners and other business units are there, so it requires coordinating with the other units, business unit, and also consolidate and make a consolidated plan. Okay, so this position requires complete knowledge about the product demand pattern, supply position, and methods of forecasting. All that. When you say unconstrained consensus input, it's a single sentence mentioned here, but it involves a lot of effort. Okay, you cannot immediately get some consensus. It is a month-long process. This is where some expert knowledge about demand and supply chain side should be available if you have to perform this job. Okay, possibly the position requires some five-step SNOP process. You know, SNOP process is formulated by Mr. Dickling, who is still doing this program, but it was developed 30 years back in the original form, and it is a five-step process. Okay, the people who are responsible for this position should know this five-step process, how to execute, then only you will be successful in coordination. Of course, here there is no mention about top level involvement. This SNOP process requires the participation of top management personnel in the process. Final conclusion should be done by the top person with whatever name. He may be a director, president, managing director, CEO, whatever may be the name, but he should be present in the final meeting and approve the final figures. But here it looks like the SNFP coordinator is going to do everything. Possibly they have not revealed here, but they are expecting everything to be done by the coordinator, and it is supposed to be a monthly process. Coming to the next statement, you will also support transformation initiatives, process improvement projects. Of course, improvement Kaizen is one of the important activity, because if this process is being done on a monthly basis, and if you are not getting the benefit should be a close coordination with all cross-functional team, and you are able to satisfy the customer demand. That's the final aim of this process. If you are not able to do, you should implement some of the improvement projects and link it to the strategy. Coming to the responsibility and task, they are specifically saying publish 3 year supply feasible constraint consensus demand and sales plan. If you interpret in a correct way, it says you have to balance supply and demand. Okay, there will be always constraint, but SNOP process is not meant for 3 years. That's why you have a different process called business plan. Okay, that's a slightly higher level. Here we are going to see SNOP at a tactical level. Next month to next 6 months is very important, but it can extend up to 1 year or 1.5 years. And the year maybe things are not clear. Usually it should be 18 months. And they are trying to mix forecasting with SNOP function. It should be even if same person is managing two different function, it should be different. Demand management is separate, SNOP function is separate, and supply management is separate. If any one of this person is handling SNOP, they should come out of the current role and manage this role. And it is possible if the organization size is small, you can have a multiple role. It is possible, but when you are doing one particular role, you should come out of the other role and perform this job. Coming to the next responsibility, they are talking about highlight and derive resolution to planning issues associated with compiling SNOP. And here they are talking about excess and shortage to projected inventory level, gaps between roadmap strategy. All these are perfect. As per SNOP, we need to understand everything, and here SNOP coordinator should be aware of all this. For example, gap between the roadmap strategy. Roadmap strategy, possibly they are talking about business plan or a strategical plan. And whenever we do SNOP, we should see that the gap between top strategy and the tactical plan is close to each other. And SNOP serves something like a bridge between top strategic plan and lower level operational plan. So this is 100% perfect. Next statement calls for ensure unconstrained and constrained consensus inputs are aligned with established business goal, target, and objective. Ensure this function itself cannot ensure. Okay, this is where we are trying to involve cross-functional team and the top executive to make a consensus. This position alone cannot ensure it can happen. It's more of a coordination and central person. Okay, maybe the wording in this sentence is not okay because the function of SNOP manager or whatever you call is to coordinate and support for executive decision making. The executive, top executive should make a decision for that. This process is essential. As this function itself cannot decide. Okay, that should be clear. Coming to next requirement, highlight and review key changes in unconstrained demand forecast and supporting assumptions. Okay, we are going to continuously review what was planned, what is actual. This is where this is a monthly process. So this person should be capable of knowing what is the deviation from plan versus actual, and highlight if there is a big gap, or if it is falling away from business plan, you should also highlight such type of a thing. And it's more of a having current knowledge, analysis capability, what was planned, what is actual. And when forecasting is also involved, this position has to highlight how much is the error, forecasting error. So this person should have a very good analytical capability, should know various forecasting methods so that he'll be able to highlight. Okay. Uh, Here it is not clear whether they mean the actual global standard of SNOP or they are having their own SNOP, because the global SNOP is very well defined. The five-step process, what we are talking, even as per APIX, it is very well defined. So step by step, what we have to do, who is responsible for what, is clearly defined. Maybe this organization has to look into their internal capability and change the specification, because it is more expected out of a very junior level. Maybe possibly that's the reason why your response to this position could be very less. Coming to next point, serve as a single point of contact for final publication of the constraint consensus forecast. The forecast is not the output of SNOP. Once again, there is a misconception. The people who are writing a job description should also be aware about this process. SNOP doesn't produce forecast output. Yeah, in fact, forecast is the input for SNOP process and not vice versa. So I assume the people who have prepared this SNOP is not qualified to make this job description, represent business unit strategies, and customer support objectives to facilitate shaping of supply response. This seems to be reasonable, but you may find at a junior level these people may be capable either at the demand side or towards the supply side. And many times the people prefer to have people who has expertise on the demand side, so you cannot shape on the supply side. It has to be done by a different team, but it is requires some coordination with the supply team. Coming to the next requirement, those who have joined the live late, all this recorded video is available in my YouTube and other channel. And on the same time, if you need any doubts or clarification, I can provide you feedback. If you type in the LinkedIn comments, I am able to respond to that. We were trying for reviewing the position for an organization called Micron based in Hyderabad. The position name is SNOP Demand Stroke Supply Analyst. So they have compacted many position into a junior level. This is what the expectation. If you see many of my review for especially for a multinational company, the expectation from the candidate is very huge. The job description seems to be like equivalent to the head of a supply chain or head of marketing, or even sometime it could be a job description for CEO. Okay, so, but you cannot avoid. That's all being the hazards when you are in the job market, especially if you are looking for a job in good or multinational companies. Next task is lead or participate in reviews of the sales and operational plan. This is the basic function. No dispute about it. You need to know a lot of coordination, communication, and moving with the heads of function is very important. Okay, even you should be able to directly call up your CEO and tell there is a problem. We need to meet immediately or resolve some support is required. All this close coordination may be required. Nothing wrong in that. Okay, build. You can see one other complicated statement. They are talking build, solve, communicate impacts of various what if analysis for executive approval. Okay, build, solve, communicate. So it's too much of a junior position. It has to be supported by the cross-functional team. Maybe they are expecting this position to get all the necessary support and finally solve the problem. Okay, in any case, SNOP is a very critical function in any organization. And if you are trying to grow up in supply chain organization, this is one route where you can come up higher in the supply chain, and finally you can reach to the top of the company maybe in 5 or 10 years time. So who are serious in looking for a very good career growth, you can grow through SNOP. That's very good channel. Maybe it comes with the related pressure, and if you are capable of coordinating, having influencing capability, talking to heads of function, then this is a good role. Okay, so you should understand when somebody says what if scenarios, what tools one has to use, and who will support. Okay, is it a one position or do some assistants are available to support this position is not clear. In any case, improvement is fine. As far as qualification is concerned, they are asking for a previous experience in supply or demand analyst or SNOP analyst or global supply chain related field. That should be okay. Strong communication, collaboration, and facilitation skills. This is the most important thing. Excellent interpersonal skill with the ability to establish positive working relationship. All these are soft skills. Okay, whether you are in SNOP or purely in supply or demand, these skills are essential now, and you cannot avoid that. Demonstrated ability to lead and to facilitate effective decision making process in difficult situation, flexible and adaptable, bachelor degree with MBA preferred. Fine. I think all this soft skills are and the education level is okay. Everybody is in the market is MBA. If you are not MBA, request you to do MBA. For that, you need not resign your job. Do full time MBA. No, you can always look for cheaper economical means to do BA. More than that, you should see how you can acquire this type of skill. This is where we have a program on SNOP. Now, currently, self-paced program is available either for 2 hours or 10 hours. If anyone of you interested and serious, you are welcome to visit our site. Sometimes we also conduct live program, but currently a self-paced program on SNOP is available. You are either welcome to reach to our executive by using this WhatsApp number. If you want to talk to me, you are always welcome to connect with me and talk to me. Any doubts, any clarification from the live participants from any of the media? I am trying to do a review on the job description so that the people are aware what kind of skill is expected in the job market and how you can acquire such type of a skill. Hope you have liked this program. If you have any doubts or clarification, you are always welcome to comment in any of the medium you are watching, whether live or post live. You are welcome to reach out so that I can comment. Weekly, I am trying to do at least two or three JD review. If you want a specific JD to be reviewed, you can send it to us so that we can review such resume. We can see something for a multinational company, not for a small or local company. That's where you can get to know what is the expectation from these employers. So, if there are no doubts, let us conclude the session. Thanks for watching. Nice evening.